Okay. So, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Obviously, thank you. Okay, very good. So this is like the second part of Monday's class about preparing exams. We are discussing the ideal situation in an examination. I say ideal because it depends on many factors, ¿verdad? Miss Mari and Miss Christy, you both are currently teaching, so you have experience. So you know that some of the situations or decisions is not up to you. It's up to the school and up to the coordinator and you know, and the parents that pay, etc. So, but anyways, the ideal situation, right? So to summarize, last class, number one, the test should be practical. If you have a very complicated exam, if you have a very long exam, I mean, it's not practical. But what could happen if you do? What happens to you? Like you have a very long exam. You have to check it. You have to grade it.
Yes.
So what happens to your social life?
Yeah, it's over.
Your social life, your mental healthness, your etc. So, and also students will hate you, bottom line. So text should be practical. Number two, it should be easily understood by the student. This is very important, teachers, because otherwise we discussed last class that you will end up spending more time explaining what to do instead of actually students do the examination. Así de tipo, Miss, ¿y ahora qué va aquí? Miss, ¿y ahora en este qué pongo? So if that is, I mean, you will have one or two that are really stupid, I mean, they're really low, and that's okay. But if everybody's asking and all the question, then it's your fault. Okay, so the exam should be very, you know, easily understood. Hello, Yesenia, welcome.
Hello.
It should be easily scored and administered. I told you about a friend of mine. We both were teaching in Tec de Monterrey, and I looked at her exams. They were very pretty, ya sabes, ¿no? Típico niña, rainbows and hearts and unicorns and todo bonito con colores. Yo no, o sea, blanco y negro, punto. Anyways, but she had a very complicated system. Así de, la pregunta fulana 3.2, vale 3.2. La otra, vale 3. Y así de, no. The poor girl really was very stressed during exams week. So it should be easy. Remember that the exam is not only but an indicator. It's not really, you don't need to make it like really complicated. Now, parentheses, I told you this, hello Madai, welcome to the class. I told you some decisions are not up to you. Y si ustedes tienen lo que le llaman, déjame me acuerdo en español, exámenes institucionales, pues I'm sorry. Consíguense otro trabajo, no. Esos exámenes son por la escuela. No te dicen, nada más te dicen de tal día es tu examen, tú no los haces y los hace la escuela. Ah, that's bad. Because they are not actually in front of the class. But anyways, it's not up to you again, it's up to the schools. Very importantly, it should not last for eternity. My Lord in heaven. Ay, pues es que tengo 2 horas. Pues sí, pero no te avientas las 2 horas an exam, no? It should encourage students rather than make them reassure their own abilities. In other words, you're going to encourage them and motivate them that they are capable of doing it. So avoid comments like, saber cómo te va, Juanito. O así de, híjole, Juanita, pues ya valiste. O así de creo que va a estar difícil. Don't do that, even though we want to say that. Believe me, I'm a teacher too, and I'm like, oh, Dios mío, this is very stupid. But don't say that. I mean, no need for that. It should measure what it's supposed to measure. It shouldn't go beyond students' abilities. We discuss that very openly. Whatever you have taught, that's an exam. No less, no more. Okay, because otherwise then it's confusing and it's cruel. Y créanme que lo he escuchado, pues lo veo con mis hijas. Pues es que viene el examen a lo que no vimos. Digo, most of the time, my daughters don't prepare. That's okay, I understand that. But sometimes they don't. I mean, it's real. Teachers are making exams without taking in consideration what they have actually taught. And finally, can you read the last square, Marie, please?
The test will be true indicator of whether the learning process and the teacher's work is effective or not.
Exactly. Check this out. Who is an indicator for whom?
The children's also knows how are the teacher teaching,
Very good.
or the other teachers or the mom.
Exactly, the parents, the children, other teachers, especially you, miss. You need to be humble enough to say, chin, tengo 20 alumnos, 15 reprobaron, hasta vamos a ver qué hacemos. Don't be the Kool-Aid teacher, pues ya, ni modo. No, it's your fault. Tienes 20, 5 reprobaron, 15 pasaron, well, okay, they were stupid, that's okay, I understand that. But if the majority fail the exam, it's your fault.
Yes.
It's your teacher's work. So you need to change it, okay? Very good. Okay, so now let's talk about a little bit of the type of tests and the type of items in the tests. There are 4 traditional type of tests: placement test, diagnostic test, progress and achievement test, proficiency test, okay? Let's discuss each one of those. What is placement test? Can you read this, Miss Christie?
According to Longman Dictionary, a placement test is a test that places students at the appropriate level in a course.
Yeah, so if you have an exam, if you have a course and you in the course you need a certain level of English, you would, before getting into the course, you need to apply a placement test. So they can see what is your level and then place the student in the correct level. Continue reading, Christy, yourself.
It should be general and purely focused on vast range of topics of the language, not just one.
Exactly, because it's a placement test, you don't know if it's basic or if it's advanced, you will have all the levels included. Obviously, you will have some sort of system to know if Juanito Perez answered section 1, entonces basic. If Juanito Perez answers section 1 and 2 and 3, then it's advanced. Or I don't know, that's up to you. It's in parentheses, don't worry about it. All the books have a placement test. You just need to know the system or you know, the points and the questions and so forth. Continue, Christy.
It could be represented in the form of dictations, interviews, grammar tests, etc.
Mhm. Normally from the books, it's a written test, no? It's a multiple choice question. In my case, for example, in my school is their interviews. Actually, Miss Christie knows about it because she helped me with some interviews. And continue.
It should deal exactly with the language skills that will be taught during a particular course.
Mhm.
Each institution will have its placement test meeting its needs. And some schools ask students to assess themselves as part of the placement process.
Very good. Now let's talk about the diagnostic test. Yesenia, please.
Diagnostic tests. Wheel placement tests are designed to show how good a student's English is in order to fit a system of levels. Diagnostic tests can be used to spot parents' difficult gaps in their knowledge and skill deficiencies during a course.
Very good. In other words, a diagnostic test will tell you if a student during a course, not the beginning nor the end, in the middle or during the course, it will tell you if the student is learning. You have a specific point. It could be a very simple, a very simple diagnostic test. Could be a quiz. Conocen los infamous pub quiz, ¿no? Los quizzes, los questionnaires, etc. All of those are diagnostic tests. It's for the teacher to know if the student is actually getting the points or getting the information or not. Continue reading, Yesenia.
Very often teachers don't put any marks for this type of test, and sometimes they don't even show the test. The students is done to avoid a negative impact on the students' motivation.
Good. In other words, again, it's not really formal. It's only for you to know if the student is actually getting the information. Yesenia?
The results of diagnostic tests will give significant information to teachers about the group she is going to work with, as well as a basis for the forming syllabus.
Very good. So again, check this out. The diagnostic test is for you to see if Juanito Perez is actually learning. Yes, Miss Christie.
This could be weekly, like on Fridays, or that's a lot.
No. Actually, weekly is fine. I do week quizzes. And actually, let me tell you a little bit of a tip, Miss. Don't tell them anything. Just for you, internally per se, you will have every Friday a conversation task, for example.
Okay.
And that will be your diagnostic test.
Okay.
And then the next week you will have a paragraph written task. I don't know, something like that. But the point is, the less formal is better. And let me tell you why. There's a reason. Because the diagnostic text is for you, not for the student, okay? So if the students feel it too formal, the diagnostic might not be correct. They may get too nervous, they may get blank, or they may pass because, I don't know, it's not, ¿cómo se llama? Objective is the word.
Okay.
So if you have an exam that is, like ellos dicen, pues es una actividad chida, but at the end you are rating them, that is for you.
Okay.
Good. Progress of achievement test, Mari.
Progress test. A progress test will show the teachers whether the students have learned the recently taught material successfully. It will basically display the activities based on the material the teacher is determined to check. Therefore, the teacher intends to check certain items, not general topics covered during the course.
Good. This exam is at the end. Now, at the end, or wherever you decide. Let me explain. Maybe it's not the final exam of the semester, pero es los famosos, the midterm, ¿cómo se dice en español? Los parciales. Okay, the midterm exams. Those are achievement tests because they will check if your students learned past tense, or whatever the unit or whatever that is, okay? I continue, Marie.
Typically, such tests do not affect the student's final grade at the end of the course.
It depends on the institution, okay? It depends on the institution. And then the achievement test, Marie?
It is a test which measures the language someone has learned during the specific course, study, or program.
Again, at the end, right? Marie?
Okay. They are more formal and will only work if they contain items types which the students are familiar with.
This is important, and maybe you say, "Duh, teacher, it's too obvious." Sí, pero if you do an exam for your students that you have never do, and it's talking about format of the, we're going to discuss the format of the exam in a bit, but if they don't know the format of an examination, it's not good because then it's not objective. I give an example. You are used to have multiple choice questions, pum, 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 ¿no? Así, A, B, C, D, bla, 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 ¿no? And then you, así de porque se te ocurrió, sin explicación, you change the next exam to open questions. What might happen to your students?
They will fail.
Simple as that. They're going to get confused. Even though dices, oye, pero pues, ¿qué tiene que nada más contesten? Yes, but listen to me, teachers. Students are students. They don't master the topic. They just, they're borregos, pues. And the good sense, you know? So if you change something without explanation, without, telling the purpose, or at least given the proper instructions, they're going to fail the exam. It's not going to be objective. Especially Juanita o Juanito Pérez, esos niños son bien ansiosos que casi no hay. Bueno, aquí está Miss Christie que se dedica a eso. Hay muchos de esos. Y la resistencia al cambio no sabes, es Ok, continue, Marie.
They should reinforce the learning that has taken place, not go out of their way to expose weaknesses.
Again, and this is very important, teachers. I'm very sarcastic, and I have had problems in my past because sometimes I said something that I shouldn't, especially with the Mazapan generation and the Crystal generation. No? Back in my day, it was different. Back in your day, Mari, was different. But nowadays is way different. So avoid comments like, a ver si lo pasas, mija. O así de, pues te veo mañana a ver en el examen. Don't do that. I mean, it's not good. Okay. Good. And then proficiency. Madai, please. Are you here, Madai?
Yes, teacher. Proficiency test, they measure how much of a language a person knows or has learned.
Okay, check this out. The proficiency test is not the same as the achievement test. In other words, it's not necessary to be part of the program. This test only shows you what is your knowledge of a certain topic. I'll explain in a moment. Can you continue, Madai?
They are rather long. They are intended to check the learner's language competence. This test could make the prospect depressed and exhausted after spending a long time in the classroom.
Exactly. Y no lo puse aquí, pero these exams are bad for your self-esteem. Tú así de, pues yo pensé que hablaba inglés. A proficiency test is not formal. It's formal, it's not friendly, and it's for you to certify that you speak English. I give you an example very easily, que es TOEFL, por ejemplo, que es muy sencillo. Cambridge, mismo TKT, y hay otros más complicados, por ejemplo, bueno, el de Cambridge cae en CPE, que es el quinto nivel de inglés. It's bad. It's very, very bad. Yo lo reprobé el último, tengo el 4 de 5. Y dije, no, pues ni me lo piden, ¿para qué lo estoy? ¿Para qué me estreso? But that's a whole different story. They're long. Por ejemplo, hace muchos años. I work for the government in the Bajío. Y entonces, anyways, long story short, hay un examen que se llama TESS con doble S, es de College Board. College Board es como el Ceneval gringo, para que se den una idea. And ese examen certifica a maestros en Latinoamérica. Yo soy certificado para poder dar clases de inglés en Latinoamérica. It's 7 hours long. Believe me, by the 5th hour, I was like, y luego el sábado en la mañana yo iba en vivo, no, sin comer, y bueno, so these type of exams are not friendly. Okay? When I did the CPE from Cambridge, que lo reprobé, lo reconozco, terminé, salí, iba, haz de cuenta, está en Indavista, donde vas a ir tú, Cristina, a hacer tu examen. En Indavista, sobre Montevideo, hay un Starbucks grande. Estábamos a 2 calles. No lo encontré. I was so overwhelmed, like I walked for like 20 minutes, y así de, ¿dónde estoy? ¿Qué iba a hacer? So anyways, but it's part of your career. Yeah, it's something like this. This is actually a real picture from TOEFL, pero ¿cuál es el IBT? The internet-based test, the IBT. So yes, it is. So far so good. Now let's talk about the items in each exam. Okay. Excuse me, can you read this, Mari?
Okay, types of test items. Major factor is the success or failure of an exam or test will be determined by the item types that it contains.
True, again, if you have items that students are not familiar, then you have a problem. We're going to discuss that in a moment. We have 2 types, direct and indirect items. A test item is direct if it asks students to perform the communicative skill which has been tested. Example, can you read example, Christy?
If the aim of the test is to check listening comprehension, students will be given a test that will check their listening skills, such as listening to the audio and doing the reproduction activities.
Exactly. So direct testing will check one of the 4 skills. Parentheses, let's practice. Tell me again the 4 skills. Mari, dime una. Mari,
Yeah, excuse me?
tell me one of the 4 main skills in a language. ¿Te agarré en frío? A ver, Cristi.
Yeah,
Listening, reading, writing, and grammar.
No, grammar no. Listening, writing, reading.
Speaking.
Speaking, very good, excellent. Bueno, sí tiene que ver con grammar, ¿verdad? Pero no, it's speaking. So if you want to know, like example, listening, you will have listening activities. If you want to check their oral production or their speaking skill, you will have oral examinations, and so forth. Y a lo mejor Yesenia dice, duh, pues sí, obvio, pero the indirect testing is measuring one specific skill from other skill. I'll give you an example. Chéquense esta instrucción. Read the following paragraph and circle the verbs in past. ¿Qué estás evaluando ahí?
¿Qué dijiste? Read and circle the verbs in past. Pues reading, pues
No,
grammar.
you're not evaluating reading. Reading sería así como read the next paragraph and answer the questions.
Bueno, me refiero como a following instructions.
Okay,
Comprehension.
reading comprehension, no, reading comprehension, no, porque no estás contestando nada del párrafo. No te dice léelo y contesta las preguntas del párrafo, no. Dice lee y encircle the verbs in past.
listening? No.
No, well, no.
Comprehension.
Pues,
Writing,
right.
porque no estás, no que escribas, pero tienes que identificar los verbos en pasado. ¿Notan cómo es indirect testing? No te importa si lo entiendes. Pudiste haber no entendido para nada el texto, pero encerraste los verbos en pasado. Okay, I give you another example. Read the sentence and complete with the right word.
Writing.
Writing, very good.
Pero también tienes que entender lo que estás leyendo para saber qué palabra va.
Okay, so that will be like 50-50 maybe?
Yes.
Okay, but it's still indirect.
Yes.
No es direct, very good. Can you read this, Yesenia?
Indirect testing, on the other hand, measures skill through some other skill. Indirect items try to find out about a student's knowledge through more controlled items.
Item, very good, excellent. Example, multiple choice questions, grammar transformation. They're easy to grade. And let me check some of the examples. A ver, aquí está. For example, multiple choice questions. Have you done exams like this? Ojo, no que los hayan hecho, que los hayan aplicado. Sí, ¿verdad? Todos hemos aplicado exámenes así. Yesenia, Madaí. Ok. El típico Ave María, dame puntería. O en inglés, ¿no? Ini, mini, mani, mo. Así se va. Bueno. What are some of the characteristics? Mari, read the points of multiple choice questions, please.
Number 1, easy to grade and to read by computers. very difficult to write well, especially when designing incorrect choices. Both their validity and reliability are suspect, for the score would depend on the student's ability to dominate MCQS techniques rather than his her understanding of the language.
Very good. Point number one is the most beautiful of these exams. It's easy to grade. No hay necesidad de, o sea, sabes que 1A, 2B, 3, ta. But it's very difficult if you have to make it. I personally have made MCQ questions, tests, y es very difficult porque las tres tienen que sonar igual. Las tres opciones. So for the teacher, it's very difficult to make. And point number 3, si tienes a Juanito Pérez that is very intelligent y se va ini, mini, mani, mo, ave María, dame puntería, puede que lo pase. Por ejemplo, TOEFL, si te avientas así, ini, mini, mani, mo, por estadística, lo pasas con 390 puntos. Digo, very low, pero lo pasas. So, it's not reliable. Very easy to answer, very easy to grade, but it's not reliable. Good. Let's talk another one. Close test or gap filling test. Read this, Miss Christie.
Close comes from the word closure and means the individual's ability to complete a module.
Very good.
There are two close test techniques. Pseudo-random involves partial or total deletion of random words at a definite range. And rational close technique or gap filling, it's based on the deletion, no sé por qué esa palabra me cuesta trabajo, of words connected with the topic the teacher wants to check. For example,
good.
present tense of be.
Very good. The deletion of the paraphrasation.
Deletion. The delete, no?
No, deletion is fine. It's correct.
Ah, deletion. Deletion.
For example, this one over here. Lo voy a dejar de tarea para que lo hagan. You answer this and this one, in this example, do you see this example? Is random. In other words, no tiene un patrón, nada más cada 5 palabras lo borra. O bueno, no cada 5 palabras. 1, 2, 3, 4, sí. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 4, 5, 1, 4, 5. Or could be specific, pseudo-random, for example, same paragraph, and you delete the adjectives. So it depends on you. It depends totally on you. Very importantly, teachers, always give the answers. Si no, en un examen, no van a tener tiempo. O sea, don't give the answers in the order. Put the answers in a different order so they can choose from the bank of words. You raise your hand, Miss Christie?
I just wanted to know, what do you mean with marsh? The marsh.
That's why I'm leaving you as a homework.
Ah, okay.
Lo sé, me odias.
Poquito.
Ya sé. And you know what? I'm fine with it. Oh, transformation and paraphrase. Read this, Yesenia.
Transformation and paragraph. It means to ask students to rewrite sentence in a slightly different form, retaining the exact meaning of the original.
Example.
I'm sorry that I didn't get her an anniversary present, I wish.
Mhm. How would you answer that? Anyone, not just you, Yesenia, for everyone. How would you answer that? I'm sorry that I didn't get her anniversary present. Paraphrasing, I wish.
Have a happy, let's say, sorry.
No. Tiene que ser el mismo concepto, Yesenia.
Oh,
Diferentes palabras.
I wish I had got something for her.
Okay, that's fine. I wish I would have gotten her something.
Mhm.
Okay, very good. Sentence reordering, Madai.
Sentence reordering, getting students to put words in the right order to make appropriate sentences tells us quite a lot about their knowledge of syntax and lexicogrammatical elements.
Example?
Put the words in order to make correct sentences.
Can you answer this? Called, I am in, sorry, wasn't when you.
I'm sorry when you called.
I'm sorry, está bien.
Okay, I'm sorry, I wasn't when you called.
Very good. I wasn't in when you called. Very good. Excellent.
Esa les cuesta un buen trabajo. Bueno, al menos a mis criaturas chiquitas. No, hombre.
Bueno, sí, sobre todo si eres disléxico o principios de dislexia, olvídate. Esto es como que
No,
el infierno para
escriben
mí.
cada cosa, o sea, de que ningún sentido. Pero bueno. ni
Sí,
modo.
sí. No. Y luego les preguntas, ¿y esto por qué? Pues se me ocurrió.
Sí. O sea, sí le sonó bien.
Así, exacto.
Ujú.
No, por ejemplo, I have, bueno, no tengo dislexia como tal, pero tengo principios de dislexia.
Ujú.
Esto para mí es malo, o sea, haz de cuenta que me están golpeando en la cabeza, no. No,
Sí, es difícil.
Some other items. Read this, ¿quién falta? No, Mari.
Okay, direct test item types. For direct test items to achieve validity and to be reliable, test designers need to do the following. Create a level playing field, choose topics that comes close to ensure that all candidates have the same chance of success. Example, why was the discovery of DNA so important for the science of the 20th century?
Very good. In other words, if you're going to have open questions, direct questions, make sure that everybody knows the topic. Otherwise, again, it's cruel. ¿Sale? Así de como el ejemplo. Why was the discovery DNA so important? Y son de primero de secundaria. I mean, no,
They won't know.
they wouldn't know. And first of all, teachers, if you don't do it, it's stupid from your part. Sad to say, I've seen teachers doing it, assuming that students know. I'll give you an example. Many years ago, bueno, les dije, I worked in Tec de Monterrey, ¿no? So I had advanced levels. Y entonces they had to do a writing exam, 700 words, no es cierto, yeah, well, 700 words. And the topic was revolution of, no es cierto, the evolution of insects. Anyways, I wrote it, and the topic, and I say, guys, I only care about the coherence and the verbs in past. Names, dates, quién fue el que descubrió, I don't care. Se aventaron unas historias así de que the Donald Duck, when he went to the Amazon and revised, and mi coordinadora se enojó y me regañó. Le dije, pues, dime si está mal. But anyways, it's a common field. In other words, make sure that everybody knows the topic. Okay? Good. What about the interaction, the interactive tests? Christy.
Tests of reading and listening should reflect real life, even when they're not authentic. Item types. An interviewer questioning a candidate about themselves. Decision-making activities, such as showing paired candidates photos of people in order to come up with a specific opinion about them.
Así tipo de, a ver, estamos en un bote salvavidas, hay 5 políticos y un perro, ¿a quién salvarías? Sorry.
Al perro.
Pues sí. Next one.
Using pictures to compare and contrast.
Good.
Or role-play activities.
Excellent. Very good. So these are the speaking activities, right? What about writing items, Yesenia?
Writing items types, reading composition and stories. A set of instruction for some common
Task.
task. Newspaper article about a recent event.
Good. Continue.
Reading item types. Multiple choice question to test comprehension of a text. Choosing the best summary of a paragraph or a whole text.
A whole.
Whole text.
Good.
Inserting sentence provided by the examiner in the correct place in the text. Listening item types. Completing charts with facts and figures from a listening text. Identify which picture are being described in a conversation. Identify which of 2 or 3 speakers says what. Following direction on a map.
Good. Excellent. All right. Let's do an exercise. So far, so good? Good. Está here. Okay, let's do an exercise. I'm going to send you a unit of a book, and you have to come up with a 10-question exam for the unit using 5 direct questions or items and 5 indirect items. Okay? What is instruction?
Indirect era como que vas a evaluar una cosa, pero a la vez estás evaluando otra cosa.
A través de otra cosa. Te pongo el ejemplo de una lectura. Si tú le pones, lee el siguiente párrafo y contesta las preguntas del párrafo, es direct.
Ujú.
Si tú pones, lee este párrafo y subraya los verbos en pasado, es indirect.
Okay.
Porque no te interesa si lo entendiste, te interesa si subrayaste los verbos en pasado.
Okay.
Okay? So, Christy y Madai work together. And Yesenia and Mari. Okay, let me open the. Ahí donde está la sala. Aquí estás. Christy and Madai and Yesenia. So I'll be sending you over the WhatsApp, okay? ¿Qué tal, hermano? ¿Cómo estás? A tus órdenes. Bien, me toca.
We had another question.
What? Tell me.
Lo de reordenar las palabras
Hmm?
es indirect question,
Yes.
pero yo lo que había entendido es que indirect question es que vas como a evaluar diferentes habilidades. Entonces sería evaluar comprensión y estructura o cómo.
Hmm? Written skill, writing skills, que es lo que es léxico, reading, gramática, estructura, etcétera, etcétera.
Ok. Vale.
No se la compliquen. Normalmente, no es una regla, ojo, pero por lo general, las únicas direct questions son las que son abiertas.
Ujú.
O sea, el why, when, why, what do you think, how, thank you, que son abiertas, son las direct questions. No es regla, pero por lo general así es.
Ah, bueno, es que, bueno, ahorita que nos toque te digo.
Ok, well, go ahead, Christy en ¿quién es? Mari, no, no es cierto. Yesenia.
Sí, es que entonces ya me confundí un poco, pero a ver. Pusimos the direct questions. What is Jill's dream? Entonces, pues ya, to be an actress. What are the similarities between Heroes and Raquel's secret dreams? Y luego, 3, write the formula to create a correct present perfect sentence con la estructura para la fórmula. Then, write 3 examples of frequency expressions. Es que la segunda página hablaba de present perfect. Entonces, la tercera pregunta la pusimos de la segunda página, que decía que las frequency expressions son como always, often, shalala, ¿no? Entonces, para que ahí pongan 3 ejemplos. Después también de la segunda página pusimos complete the chart with regular and irregular verbs. Entonces tenemos travel, traveled y que completen. O be, was, were.
Eso sería indirect testing, ¿cómo se llama?
¿Qué sería indirect testing?
Porque no está abierta, ¿qué,
Es-
te pregunto, en la pregunta 5, ¿qué estás evaluando? ¿Qué skill?
Pues writing o memorizing verbs.
Nada más estás choreando, ya es como tú nada más estás, entonces, pero te digo, that's indirect, it's not open, it's mechanical, it's closed.
Ah, porque está closed. Pero pues también están closed el sueño de Gilly, la relación entre el sueño de Gilly y de Hiro y de la fórmula de las, o sea, también están directas, ¿no? O sea, también es solo es una opción.
A ver, vamos a, ¿qué opinan los demás? Antes de que regañe a Cristi.
Ay, no.
No te creas. ¿Por qué number 1 es open question?
O sea, sí es open, pero solo hay una respuesta.
No, ahí te va. Si fuera fuera indirecto, si fuera hacer algo así como, por ejemplo, is Jill's dream traveling, no he leído la de esta, no sé, pero is Jill's dream traveling in the world, yes or no?
Ya, o sea, te refieres a abierto y cerrado.
Exacto, sí, exacto. Open and closed.
Bueno, ya me había hecho bolas. Bueno, entonces sí sería. Pero entonces también, o sea, no hay de otra. O sea, el verbo que sigue, pues solo hay esa opción, o sea, no tiene.
Por eso cerrado. No
Es
hay,
cerrado. Y es
exacto.
direct.
Es indirect.
Ay, no entiendo.
Direct es open, es abierto.
Ajá.
En indirect es los que no hay márgenes. Están
Ajá.
cerrados, como fill in the blanks, complete the sentence, choose the correct word, bla, bla, bla. Todos esos son indirect.
Ujú. Ah, ok. Ok. Entonces esta sería direct. What about you?
Exactly.
Do you have one? Write it down.
And that's totally open. That's direct.
Ok. Entonces aquí sí, ok. Y ya eso es lo que tenemos.
Okay.
Y
Entonces,
tenemos también unscramble the words, que también sería indirect,
That's,
unscramble the
that is
words,
correct.
pero no ya no nos dio tiempo de escribirlas, pero sería ordenar las palabras.
Perfecto. Finish it and then send it to me or to the chat so we can have it in the chat, okay? For everybody.
Okay.
Very good, Yesenia, very good, Christy. Okay, Madaí and Mari. Off you go. Maybe you could start sharing, Christy.
Ah, sorry.
Yo estaba con Cristina. Ay, estaba con Cristina.
Oh, sorry. Por eso digo que Mari y Yesenia, please.
Mm.
The indirect is, can you understand very well of topic? How did you feel in the exam? They understand the instruction of the exam?
That would be indirect, pero eso no es parte del examen.
Bueno, es general. This sentence is generally.
In general, yes. But which is the exam?
Okay.
Lo que les envían no es el examen, ¿eh? Es parte de la clase. Ya vi
Okay.
tu error, Mari. Lo que les envían no es el examen, es parte de la clase. Tenían que hacer un examen basado en la clase de lo que les envíe. ¿Sí me expliqué, Mari y Yesenia?
The next question is, can you identify the power principle of each person?
Okay, that's okay. That is
Can you describe each person of the text? Can you order the sentence correctly?
Very good. Now, Yesenia, pause there. Those three questions, which ones are direct and which ones are indirect?
Okay. Can you identify the power principle of each person is direct? And can you order the sentence correctly is indirect?
Yes, the second one and the first one is indirect too, porque no está abierta, ¿no? Es una pregunta de sí o no. Can you identify? Yes, I can.
Yes.
Sí, fíjate.
Direct.
Ahí espérate de todo, Yesenia. Fíjate bien lo que estás preguntando. Hay que ser muy específicos, dijimos la semana pasada. Digo, the last class. Lee otra vez el can you identify. ¿Puedes leer otra vez?
Can you identify the power principle of each person is indirect?
Es indirect. Y fíjate la respuesta. Si un niño te dice, yes, I can,
Yes.
está correcto.
Okay.
So it's only yes or no. They
Yes.
want to choose yes or no.
Y si te dicen que yes, I can, pues ya te fregaste y le tienes que poner yes.
Sí.
En cambio, lo puedes poner something like, tell me the characters in the conversation. Or
Okay.
name the ¿cómo se llama? Sí. Tell me the names in the conversation.
Can you describe each? Can you describe the power principle the text?
Very
Is
good.
direct?
It's direct. Excellent.
Mhm.
Pero fíjate otra vez lo que estás preguntando. Can you describe? Y si te dice yes, I can,
Yeah.
te fregaste y le tienes que poner válido el punto.
Más bien es describe.
Exactly. Exactly. Cuando le pones describe, ya se convierte en direct y ya a fuerza tiene que contestarlo.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
Very good. Very good. So be careful in the questions, ¿eh? Eso que los no se preocupen, eso que acaba de pasar es very common.
Yeah.
Can you tell me the blah blah blah? Yes, I can. Y pues está bien. ¿Va? O sea, you have to be specific. Otherwise, no va a faltar el Juanito Pérez que se siente más listo que todos y pues yo contesté. Que
That's
hagan
what
sus
you-
preguntas es otra cosa.
Yeah, okay.
Good. Thank you very much. Ahorita les mando la tarea para que completen the exercise that we didn't finish. And send us the exams. Christy, Madai, Mari, and Yesenia finish in the word processing and send it to the chat so we can have it for everybody and everybody can read it, okay? Let's take a selfie to finish the class today. ¿No puedes cambiar tu luz, Christy? Nada más se ve tu audio no sé qué dice, sé que estás hablando, pero...
Hace rato estaba la luz del día enfrente de mí, por eso me veía. Y como ya prendí el foco, ahora está atrás de mí, entonces ya no me veo.
Sí. Ok. Va. 1, 2. Excellent. Okay, I'll send it to you in a moment.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. Party a lot. Drink a lot. Go outside, etc. Not you. You stay home.
Yes. Bye.
Okay.